Good day to all. Members of the public, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ian Brown, the gentleman in the picture with the allegations. I am here to clear my name because I would not tolerate and allow anyone to slander my name publicly, to humiliate my family, to humiliate my kids, and to humiliate myself. Now I'm here to clear the air because I'm not going to let these allegations stick on me, a lie that I would have to live with for the rest of my life, which can cause a lot of issues getting employment in the bus industry in the future. I'm here to clear my name and set the record straight. I was dismissed on the 11th of August 2020 by Miss Yasmin Bishop, operating manager of Tottenham Bus Garage, Phillip Lane. She was promoted after my dismissal on a secondment to head of South operations, and I'm here to clear my name so this propaganda does not continue to ruin my life. On the 13th of 3rd, 2020, I was falsely accused of leaving my bus unattended, which is a false accusation. On that day, I needed the use of a toilet. I sent a text message alert to my controller regarding using the toilet, and there will be a delay in service. I also made an announcement to my passengers regarding using the toilet. This was accepted. I then went to the munch box to use their facilities, where on my departure I received a hot drink, which was a hot chocolate, because I do not drink coffee, as they stated. It was on the house, and even if I had to pay for it, I will do it on my lunch break. Something that I've done regularly. On the return onto the bus, I made an announcement to the passengers thanking them, and as well, waiting with the bus was two bus drivers, work colleagues of mine, that I've asked specifically to stay with the bus until I return. I thanked them, and then I continued in service. I was falsely accused for reading, writing, driving 25 miles per hour through a red light with a bus full of passengers. This was a false statement, and this evidence was not proven in tribunal to have a decision made against me where no evidence was actually shown in the tribunal for the allegation to stick against my name. As well as the incident was done apparently on the 13th of the 3rd, 2020, when I went off work stressed on duty, and they claim it to be self-suspension. I accepted the self-suspension with hoping that investigation would have been carried out on these continuous harassment by controllers. The self-suspension was breached by the manager, is Yasmin Bishop, because she is the operating manager. So it doesn't matter if it's another manager in the same department that breached the policy. It all happened on Miss Bishop's watch. The allegation regarding reading while driving was based on speculation on a document that was issued on that very day, on the 13th of the 3rd, 2020, which was a falsified document regards attendance. I learned this later on when I departed from my bus. Due to stress, I could no longer carry on in service. Passengers were on the bus advising me that no one should tell me that I cannot use the toilet, and this is not acceptable. They had no issues with me not continuing service because they realized that I was being provoked by the controller. Now today, I am fighting to get back my job because it was the best paid job I had. I had a pay rise. I also was a driver mentor that did not get any driver mentor job from Miss Bishop. The reason why I was dismissed is because Miss Bishop is trying to cover up her flaws. Miss Bishop has breached several company policies. Number one, next day of work policy was breached several times by Miss Bishop. The 30-day policy regarding giving a disciplinary to a driver was breached by Miss Bishop by 5 months. The incident happened on the 13th of the 3rd, 2020, and I was dismissed on the 11th of the 8th, 2020. Any driver knows that a disciplinary should be done within 30 days, else it's void. Ms. Bishop also breached the grievance policy, where since 2018 there have been several grievances given to Ms. Bishop, and she has not investigated any of them, which is negligence, which would have proven harassment on duty by downloading audio to hear how controllers speak to me while I'm driving a heavy duty vehicle. And those are the reasons why I will normally not continue service, because I do not want to have passengers on board while I'm stressed. So my protocol is to take the time off. Obviously, I would have to instruct first gear, which is a system set up at work where I would speak to a nurse and the nurse would advise me on what to do. On the 13th of the 3rd, 2020, I was stressed on duty. On the 16th of the 3rd, 2020, the self-suspension was breached by the company manager under Miss Bishop watch. On the 16th of the 3rd, 2020, I contact First Care, which is a system set up in place. If you're not fit to attend work, this is the number you contact. I was advised by the nurse to take some time off with a report given to Miss Bishop on the 16th of the 3rd, 2020. I was harassed by managers between the 17th of the 3rd, 2020 to the 17th of April, 2020, stating I should come to meetings, which I could not attend because I was on a doctor's note, a sick note. My family was sick and I had to be at home taking care of them. During the lockdown in March to April, I was at home assisting my family while they were swabbed, tested, and it was stated that they were COVID-19 positive. I got isolation certificate from the NHS stating I should stay at home. This information was sent by recorded delivery to Yasmin Bishop, which she ignored it. Another negligence. Ms. Bishop also breached my human rights, company policy, and ACRES code of practice regards grievances and disciplinary, because she conducted a disciplinary while several grievances were pending that implicates Ms. Bishop, several days before my dismissal. These grievances was not heard by the relevant department, which is HR, which I've requested several occasions for HR to investigate my grievances. These was not done due to manager's negligence at Tottenham Bus Garage. And this was all done on Miss Bishop's watch. Miss Bishop also breached the policy by not giving me or granting me a union representative of my choice. She elected her own representative to handle my disciplinaries, my grievances, and my self-suspension. Also, the fact findings. Ms. Bishop used her own union and not a union I requested of choice. Ms. Bishop claimed on 3 occasions that my union rep of choice is COVID-19 positive, and that's the reason he cannot attend. So the union representative they chose to give me, I used him as a witness. A witness that was there on several different disciplinaries and grievances, but he was not available to attend tribunal. How typical. A person who claimed they've represented me in the past was not able to attend tribunal to say his part, to prove my innocence, that he was not representing me on the day I was dismissed, which is a breach of ACRE's code of practice. I should have gotten a 5-day waiver. I should have been given the contact details of my union rep so I can contact them myself, which in the end I did, and my union representative of choice made it clear that he was never contacted on the 3 occasions that I requested him in 2020. This evidence was given to the tribunal, a witness statement by the representative of choice I chose, stating he was never contacted. The representative of choice also stating he never had COVID-19 during the time that Ms. Bishop has stated. So Ms. Bishop lied, breached the policy on the grievances, breached the policy on disciplinary, breached my health and safety, breached my human rights, regards giving me a union rep of choice, breached the policy in equal rights and opportunity, denied me driver-mentor jobs for years. Also a breach by not giving me a replacement bus pass. Also a breach by not giving me a locker key. Equal rights and opportunities breach. I also challenged Ms. Bishop in tribunal with simple questions. And these simple questions Ms. Bishop could not answer, and which she answered was incorrect. She stated that it's 90 days it takes to do a disciplinary. That's the window she's got to do a disciplinary and dismissal. The correct answer is 30 days. I've been advised by union, senior drivers, and other drivers that it's 30 days. And if it's not done within 30 days, it is void. If a grievance is not heard before a disciplinary is void. This was done on my name. My grievances was not heard, even though they stated it was sent to HR, and this has not been proven that it's been sent to HR, except for the external managers who have received this information and accepted Ms. Bishop not doing her job according to company policies, which is a breach of my human rights. Equality Act 2010 has been highlighted in terms of equal rights and opportunity, and the reality is that I'm treated unfairly by Ms. Bishop for a number of years since her employment at Arriva 2018 Tottenham Bus Garage. I'm here to claim my name, and I'm not going to let Ms. Bishop sit there while she has studied employment law to know better. Now imagine studying employment law and then getting a job as a manager, which I suspect she doesn't have a driver's license to drive a bus, a PCV license to actually drive a bus. I asked Ms. Bishop in court if she held a license. She stated yes. I asked her to show proof. This was not done. I also asked for proof of years in service. This was not done. I also asked why was my grievance not heard before the disciplinary. She claims that she thought it was done. So if she thought it was done and it was never done, which was granted by HR business partners to have a grievance done before the disciplinary, Ms. Bishop went ahead of her seniors and conducted a disciplinary and dismissed me on the 11th of the 8th, 2020. On the 3rd of the 8th, 2020, Ms. Bishop tried to dismiss me on that day, which I challenged her and stated to her, if this meeting is legal, please continue. She did not continue, so that proves she's guilty of doing what she's doing. Now, I do not know if the senior boss is aware of this. I'm not sure if Arriva departments are aware of this, but I'm highlighting this, so Ms. Bishop needs to be thoroughly investigated according to the company policy regards gross misconducts. The person who is found guilty of gross misconduct will be dealt with under the disciplinary procedures of the company policy. I need to clear my name. Ms. Bishop is guilty of gross misconduct by fabricating workplace documents, falsifying documents to be issued to the tribunal. Documents which was issued to the tribunal was falsified, and documents and evidence was missing from the tribunal bundle, which I rejected twice, and the same rejected bundles were used in tribunal day without the option of using my own company policy, which was different to the company policy used in tribunal. So even the policy was incorrect used in tribunal, which should have made the case in my favor and have it be dismissed in my favor, the allegations dismissed against me, because there was no evidential proof that was showed in tribunal regards CCTV videos was not shown in court, and also audio was edited. Both the video and the audio was cropped and edited. I rejected them, so they cannot be used in court, so it's inadmissible. So where was the evidence that they used in court for the judge to actually have a decision against me for me to lose an employment tribunal when Ms. Bishop is guilty of fabricating my documents, guilty of not following the policy, as well as other managers guilty of not following the policy? They claim I had an attendance issue. They publicly tell them I had attendance issue, which is also false and incorrect. The evidence is there in my files. Ms. Bishop needs to be investigated thoroughly, and my name needs to be cleared with a public apology, whether in writing or by speech, because I'm not going to live the rest of my life with slander on my name, which is to do with a cover-up, something that was orchestrated by Ms. Bishop, a trumped-up vendetta that she's had against me for a very long time to create a systematical campaign to cost me my job. Anyone who accepted Ms. Bishop false allegations against me should be held accountable and should be responsible for Ms. Bishop's action. Now, as a member of the public, as a law-abiding man, as a man who's worked hard to provide for his family to get promotions, I find it unacceptable to start over earning less money to give my family less than what I could have given them. From being on a pay rise, having a driver mentor position, and not getting driver mentor jobs, I've lost a lot of money. During lockdown, Ms. Bishop did not pay me while I was off, and still today she owes me that money. This is the reason why I was dismissed. I was not dismissed for reading while driving. I did not break a traffic light because the traffic light was changing from amber to red. I was appointed no return. I'm not going to brake sharply to injure my passengers on board because I'm trained and qualified to make decisions. That's the reasons why I don't have accidents on my records. I have no traffic enforcement judgment against my records working for the company. So the fact that I have no traffic enforcement judgment against my name, Mr. Travelers has come on my bus and it's proven that my driving standards is not poor. I've graded 97%, 89%, 88%, 86%, 96% while working for the company. I've not cost the company any money in damages, and I have contributed to Hello London for several years by making announcements regularly of my changeover points, at my destination points, diversion points, closed off bus stop points, and possibly passengers traveling on the wrong bus. I made this announcement all day, and the announcement was introduced to the Big Red Book because of a number of drivers that does it. Right? I was framed by Miss Bishop so she could get promoted, and I was also disrespected by Miss Bishop by not investigating the grievances from the past and withholding exculpatory evidence from her senior managers, which they used a fabricated bundle to introduce to court, as well as an ET3 which was fabricated because of Miss Bishop. I'm here to clear my name. I'm not going to be sitting here while someone slander my name and make me look bad to the public. So I need a public apology. I need my job back. I need money owing to me. And whatever tribunal decisions in the future, once this appeal is finished, whatever the tribunal decision is, then that's what the tribunal decision is. But at the end of the day, I am not going to let Miss Bishop breach company policy several times on my name, and then she's going to be promoted on my name and get off scot-free. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm sorry, this video is not coming down until my name is cleared. Right? And this video will be sent to anyone who is interested to assist me in resolving this issue, who is in a higher position of authority, because what Miss Bishop has done is fraud. According to Fraud Act 2006, abuse of power. And also the representatives who represented the respondent was also abuse of process, because they refused to send me exculpatory evidence which would have proved harassment, would have proved my innocence, and would prove Miss Bishop and Associates negligence. And this has to be done. I am not going to let Miss Bishop continue working for the employment while she scars my good name from a good reputation I've managed to hold for so long. Now, driving the bus with a high standard, and the public who is aware of me and my announcement of Shoreditch Church and anywhere else is aware that I help the public daily. Miss Bishop, I doubt, have a bus driver license. Miss Bishop lied under oath in court along with other managers, and witnesses were not present in court, so as witness tampering along with evidence tampering of the exculpatory evidence that I've requested, which the order was sent by the tribunal, and they refused to send these evidence. How can I lose in court or in tribunal when the whole case was flawed to begin with? The evidence is there, and the evidence is always going to be there, and it's never going to change. So the reality that Miss Bishop needs to be investigated straight away, so I can clear my name and get back to my life. And then whatever the respondent wants to do with her, whether to demote her, dismiss her, retrain her, it doesn't matter. Because Miss Bishop will have to prove that she's got a driver's license. Because she cannot judge my driving unless she's witnessed dangerous driving, which was never a report from the public on the 13th of the 3rd, 2020, for Miss Bishop to have an investigation done against me by breaching the company policy by 30 days and also dismissing me 120 days after the breach of the policy. Thank you very much to the public, but I'm not going to live a life where my name is slandered by a group of people who are actually on Miss Bishop's side, which is they're in their right to do that. It's up to them. But if they accept Miss Bishop for what she's done, they all should be held accountable, and they all should be investigated to see if they've actually conducted the right thing following the company policy. The policy is put there for a reason. The policy is put there so it helps us to keep our jobs, and it also helps them to not have any litigations against them. So the reality of it is that I lost my job for running a traffic light. The company policy clearly states that if that should ever happen, I get retrained, because it will be my first alleged offense. I get retrained. I don't lose no points on my license. It's not placed on my records, and I'm not disciplined for it. The company pays the fine, which is capped, and I then pay the company back in stages over the weeks, whether £5 or £10 until it's cleared. The company policy protects me against traffic lights, so I don't know why I'm dismissed over it. Company policy protects me regards the attendance, because Miss Bishop used a misuse of policy to dismiss me on the attendance. And also, she misused the policy by stating, I was reading while driving using a mobile phone policy. No mobile phone was used on the 13th of the 3rd, 2020. So all the allegations against me are lies, because Miss Bishop has no reason to dismiss me because I held a clean record. Thank you very much, and everyone have a fantastic day. But I am not going to let anyone slander my name while I work so hard, because I take my job seriously, I'm never let down a company until the company lets me down. Right? Questions could not be answered in court. That means the case should have been in my favor, as well as the disciplinaries, the grievances, self-suspension, health and safety. All these things were breached by Miss Bishop. Thank you.